That's good tea. All right, we are live. We are live. I'll hide that stuff really quick. All right. Hopefully everyone's doing good. So we got some people in here. Some comments. Hello. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Good evening. All right. So we'll start. We got some people in here already. I appreciate you guys coming in. And as you are coming in, we have news coming in. So tonight we have a very special guest. So we're going to go over some little formalities really quick just to get you guys abreast in case you have been spending time and doing stuff with your family. So I just got an email that the Golden Age Batman, the one that's the black and gray, they're going to be charging for that on October 3rd. So make sure you have your stuff ready. I also got another email, and I don't know if you guys are into this or if you have it as well, but they're also going to be charging for the 5 points. I think it's the Godzilla. Give me a second here, because all of this stuff is happening in real time, right? But yeah, they're going to be charging for the Godzilla 5 points. So make sure that you're ready. I know this weekend's a huge weekend, and we're all going to be just a little bit broke. It's going to be the 5 points XL Godzilla versus Hadura 1971 three-figure box set. So remember, October 3rd, that's going to get charged. Batman, that'll be charged too. So hey, how's everyone doing? Welcome. Hello, everyone on this page. Welcome to Hangout, episode 78, where I give you positive insight into world collecting in a very chill and relaxed atmosphere. I have to remember to look at the camera here. We're going to get that shit set. I see a bunch of people in already. Dom, good to see you. Paul, very good to see you. Yeah, we got all these fig heads. Good to see you, dope. Yeah, no, Batman. Oh, God, he should not be named. We don't really want to talk about that. I don't want to keep our guests waiting. So, really quick, like I said, just some minor formalities for everybody that I just wanted to go over. We got to scroll back and see who was first in the chat. It looks like Will Chavez. Will, you are the first in chat, so you're going to get an entry into the giveaway that I'm going to have on Monday at 8 p.m. That, of course, is this desk. I know you guys keep seeing this, but I wanted to give some people a chance to be able to get in there. So I'll put you down as an entry for one. Also, I wanted to try something new. I wanted to try to engage with you guys a little bit more because I sometimes get lost when I'm talking to a guest and I forget about the chat. So hopefully he's going to chat a lot tonight so I can kind of pay attention to that kind of stuff. But so during the feed, what's going to happen is you are going to probably see this. It's going to be a tap in. That's all it is. It's tap in. So when you see that, all you have to do in the chat is put tap in. And the first 5 people that put tap in, I'll put an entry in for those people for the desk, right? Okay. Do it twice. All you got to do is kind of pay attention. I'm going to make sure also I do like little chat breaks so we can dig into our guests that we have and make sure that we're giving him proper time as well. Another thing I wanted to go over with you guys really quick is I have it right here. Yeah, so I am going to be doing more giveaways. Like I said, I'll have this. You gotta make sure you got that stuff. There you go. I'm going to be doing more giveaways, so make sure that you kind of keep in touch with that kind of stuff. I'll put stuff on Instagram, and like I said, this giveaway is going to be on Monday. And what I'm going to plan on doing is, when I was in the group before, what I tried to do was we would have a banner challenge. And usually at the banner challenge, whoever won, they got put in as an entry. And at the end of the year, what we did was we gave away a figure. Well, I gave away a figure or figures. And so what I want to do is, that didn't really work in the group for some reason. I think it just, people have lives and they just can't get to it. So what I want to do is I want to try to bring that here. So what I'm going to do is I'm keeping track right now. And at the end of the year, I'll take all of those people that actually won challenges, and you get to double up. And at the end of the year, what I'll do is I'll have a grand prize for the end of the year. And it might be a figure, it might be figures plural. It's just whatever I dig out of the vault because I'm running out of space. And I would rather give it to the people that support me and who are doing things in the community to be positive because we've seen a lot of negative shit in the community. And so this is just my way of saying thank you for one, and then also giving back to the community. So now that we got formalities out the way, I want to introduce our guests. So this, if you're new to the channel, usually the hangouts where I take somebody from the community, we just kind of plop them in the lounge chair and we just kind of talk and get to know each other. Because usually what happens is everybody sees avatars and we don't really get to know each other on a personal level. So this is a way to grab anybody and everybody from the community and have them sit down and just go over, just basic stuff. Why they collect, what they collect, hot topics, whatever they want to talk about. That's their time, and that's what we do. So our guest tonight is a Canadian photographer, diorama maker. He is also a content creator. I would like to introduce to you guys Mr. Figgie Smalls. Please make sure you give him a warm round of applause.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Good to see you, bro. Good to see
what
you,
an intro, man. Bigging me up here, buddy.
Have to, man. Good. I wanted to say, and I do this all the time. I usually either tell my guests the first time they actually met them, and this is our first time, so this is kind of
correct.
unique.
Yeah.
Also, or something that they've done that impact me, and I want to tell you thank you very much because I do notice a lot of things that go on in the chat, and I noticed that you're one of the most consistent people, along with a couple other people. But you're always in there, and you're always commenting, and you're always putting constructive comments and things to kind of build up on. So I'll usually go back and watch and go, you know what, that's a point, and I'll write it down for later. So I want to thank you for your support and
always,
thank you,
man,
for bringing content to this channel. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you. And I think we were talking about this earlier before the live. I'm such a huge fan of you, man. And it's like everybody has their own style, and not to knock anybody for like someone's better than someone or this. Everybody has their own style, but your style just vibed with me a lot. And I compare it to, like I was saying, that yours is like Starbucks. Like it's kind of like the adult. I mean, we're all adults, but like it's an adult way of like doing a figure review. If you guys ever watch, I mean, if you're in this channel, right? You're watching all this stuff, but it's just like so like clean. It's just you got the jazz music in the background. Like I feel like I want to sip. I don't want to sip beer. I want to sip some tea, and I just want to like. And it's like such a beautiful way of doing it. So that's why, man. It's just a huge fan. This is an honor for me. So thank you for having me.
No, thank you, man. I really appreciate you being here. I love having positive people on and just hearing their stories, and that's what I want to try to get to. There's a lot to cover because as I was sitting on my couch today, I was thinking, what do I know about this person and what do I want to know more of this person? We kind of had a couple of chats here and there, and you raised up some really good stuff, and I want to get to that, but I want people to understand and get to know you first. So, Mr. Figgie Smalls is the Illiest. I gave a little bit of an intro to you, but how would you describe yourself to someone if they were just learning about you? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, what do I do? Well, let's just start with how I kind of got into the fig game, so to speak, right? I actually, I grew up with a lot of G.I. Joes, Ninja Turtles, Star Wars, and everything. But I never really got into that collecting. I thank God, because then I'll be super broke because I collect a lot of things and a lot of different lines. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I didn't get into that. Thank God. And all this other Star Wars, I'm good, but like I had to cut down a little bit, right? But I was actually into a lot of like mixed martial arts. Around 21, I started training Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And I was huge on UFC, and my gateway into action figures, believe it or not, back when I was an adult, is this company called Round 5 MMA. And I don't know if anybody in the chat can remember that, but it was actually a Canadian guy that got the license from UFC. And I actually don't have any figures with me right now. They're all locked up, but they're like these little guys, and they have their little tiny shorts. And they had soft goods and everything, and I was like, I collected that for a while. Unfortunately, the company went under, and and I was like, kind of like, oh, I still want to. I feel like I want to collect something else. And
Hmm.
then that's how I got into Marvel Legends. Like Marvel Legends, I got into it around, excuse me, the Civil War. Civil War, what's it called? When the movie came out and the figures came out, and
Right.
that was kind of my way in. And then it just like everything else, man. You know, as you can see, there's like Mythic Legions right behind me because I've always been down with Lord of the Rings, all
Hmm.
that good stuff, GI Joes, all that stuff, and so, and then yeah, you know, I picked up a camera or my camera phone, and I saw I'm like, holy crap, there's a whole community of like actual people taking photos, and like
Yeah.
it's badass. And I'm like, okay, maybe like let me try to get a diorama from somebody or something. And I just like I saw the prices, and I was like, wait, how much for what? And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Okay, let me just try my hand at this. And then I just kind of wanted to go and do some stuff. Started
Hmm.
with like a little bit of like brick walls here and there, blah blah blah, this and that. And then I ended up making this huge castle for my buddy Johnny.
Right.
And that's one of them in the background there. Actually, it was before. It was like a gargoyle. I think I did it for somebody else there,
Hmm.
and then it just kind of took off. You know, like there's so many influences that I have for dioramas and such. Right, this thing it's still there. I have like we just moved into the new house, so a lot of my stuff and my kind of like my account is kind of like gotten quiet, and I'm really sorry about that, folks. But it's gonna pick up again because when I unbox everything, everything's gonna be in, and I'm gonna pick that up. That's like one of the, as you can see, that's a Sentinel,
Yeah.
the Marvel Legends HasLab Sentinel there, and that's how big the dioramas are. I don't know. I have this weird thing about huge dioramas, and it takes forever to finish, and then I get bored, so then I kind of move into something else.
Hmm.
And all this good stuff, right? Yeah, there's another one. You know, just a bunch of Mythic Legion stuff, right? Heavy on the Mythic Legions. But that's just me, man. I'm just kind of ongoing, like kind of crazy. Mezco, like
Did you say
Mayfax.
mezcal? Did you say mezcal?
Man, and that's why, that's why. That hood's like, um, what's it called? The video he did on Vapor. It's
Oh
probably
yeah,
still
yeah,
one of
yeah.
my favorite like toy reviews of all time. Like I
Oh
was
man,
like,
thank
dude,
you.
if I was ever to do, and I always want to message it. I'm like, if I was ever to do like a figure review and everything, and I hope like you don't get mad or take it in the wrong way, but I'm like, I would model my game 100% towards like, would not copy it completely, but I would totally model it towards yours. It's just, it's like,
That's
it's
so
nice.
nice.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, it's like it's trying. It's not trying hard, but it still covers a lot of things. It's funny without trying to be funny. It's
Yeah,
really chill, So that's
yeah.
it, man. And I'm just babbling because I'm totally fangirling right now. But anyways,
No, man,
uh,
no, no.
enough about me,
I
man.
appreciate it. No, thank you. Like, I mean, it's nice to hear because I've only done 3 videos like that. So,
Oh yeah,
but yeah, like when I was doing the videos, I told myself I was like, there's a lot of guys that are legends and they've done these videos,
yeah,
and you have your very popular reviewers, and I said I don't nothing to against that.
yeah,
I just said
yeah.
I need to do something different to help myself
Different, man.
stand out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I'll just do me.
Hmm.
I'll just be who I am, and I like it. It's I like just talking about the figure and just showing details, and then
Yeah.
just trying to get some of the stuff that a lot of times you just don't have time to cover. So
Hmm.
it gives it more variety. Like somebody over here might cover this,
Correct.
but
Yeah.
I may have covered something else, and that's the cool part about it. Everybody's collectively they're helping the whole community out.
Absolutely.
So I know you build dioramas,
Yeah.
amazing pieces of work, and I know it
Thanks,
takes a
guys.
while to do. Yeah, this is really good. There you go. Have some more. But I know
Chad,
you
what's up, buddy?
build, but also you shoot as well.
Yeah,
And
when
so
when I have time, sure.
I know, but these are really good, man. These are really good, bro.
Yeah,
I was
some photos are kind of better than others, and I still haven't really mastered. Well, the thing is, when I was shooting those, I was in like this one little small bedroom I had. I had a little setup with in one of the bedrooms, and it's not that big, right? So I couldn't really get the lights up and properly, and I bump into something, and it's some like half of wall would like, smash down, and I had to fix all the figures. So luckily we moved into a little bigger house, and I have a kind of like a man cave now. So I kind of want to get like a little proper setup, and all that good stuff, right? But that's like another game. Like that's another game, man. That you got to like seriously try to. That doesn't come easy, Trying to take pictures, getting the lighting right, like Jason B. Michaels, all these guys.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's been on once or twice, but like that's like next level stuff, right? And it's just tough. Like sometimes I feel like I gotta maybe kind of focus a little bit down on one thing to get better at one thing, but I'm just too eclectic, man. I just like I get too bored, right? So I just want to kind of do it. Mr. Dwayne shoots toys, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm a huge fan of him, right? So he's a really super chill guy. And you know what? Like I don't want people blowing up his all the stuff, right? But like I messaged Dwayne and I asked this guy lots of questions, and he's like the most like super chill guy ever. And he has like a freaking million followers and stuff like that, and is so talented. And that's amazing. Like I hope you never change, Dwayne. Like I'm just a huge fan of you as a human being, not even just as a an artist. So
I like guys like that because I've reached out to him. Very nice, and it was just a regular question, but he still took time to be able to say, "Hey, oh yeah, this is this," and then it was about 3D printing, and I was like, I'm trying to think about doing it.
Me too. Yeah.
I wonder if he has something like he just copies and pastes. He's like, oh, here it is. Copy it. Yeah.
Another one. Hey, let's go into this folder here, and then there's a copy. Yeah.
But I will admit, it was very personal. It wasn't like something like that. No, but I say that because I can imagine how many times that he probably gets asked the question.
Yeah.
Like me, sometimes I just have that. I go, yeah, here you go. But he was very personal. He was like, whenever you have questions and if you need help, I'll go through some of the stuff here. And so, but for someone at that level to be able to have the time and patience to be able to talk is awesome. So, thank you, Dwayne.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like some sort of vampire. I don't think he sleeps, to be honest, because he's just the amount of content that he pumps out and does, and it's just he's still super nice. I'm like, you got to be some sort of vampire or something.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Because I'm tired all the time. So.
Yeah. So, when you're what out of all the stuff that you do, because you are multi-talented, you build stuff, you're a content creator as well, correct? So let me talk about that really quick with you. Your content creating, I had a link to your channel, and I didn't get a chance to watch any videos, but for you to describe it, what would you say about your channel? What do you cover? You cover Mythic Legions, or?
Yeah, honestly, right now, because with our group, if I can do a little plug, on Saturday nights, we call it Saturday Nights Live, and it's for our Mythic Legions group in Canada. It's called Knights of the North, we just kind of talk about some upcoming figures and all that stuff. Just kind of hang out, talk about stuff. I've tried to do reviews as well, but it's just, once again, I have a 2.5-year-old and a 9-month-old. So life kind of just, as much as I want to kind of really pour as much as I can, you just kind of have to take care of the kids sometimes, right? So as much as I can, I try to get in there. And plus we were moving, I started a new job, all these things, right? But
congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. No, it's just, once again, it's blessings after blessings. So, but yeah, man, I just try to, I want to try to focus down a little bit, maybe do some figure reviews, and kind of blow up some things that people don't really know about. I know people know, of course, of The Amazing has amazing videos about Mythic Legions, and that's how I got into it, right?
The ultimate influencer, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, right? But that's it, man. It's just the figures kind of, they speak for themselves, but they need sometimes, someone to kind of like lift them up from everything else. There's so much product nowadays, left, right, and center, man. And what a time to be a collector, right? So but yeah, I just kind of want to do. You said kind of do my own thing, kind of like put out what I like, and kind of just work on some other stuff, studio wise, kind of to get it up to a level like something like yours, or something like Unparalleled Universe, all those guys, right? It's a thing that you work on, man. It's like these guys make it look so. You guys make it look so easy. But it's, if anyone that's ever kind of done like editing or anything like that, or even just kind of stepped into this type of YouTube Live or Instagram Live and all that stuff. It's not as easy as everybody thinks, right? But they're still fun. But yeah.
Mhm. So do a quick little chat break here, and one of the
Let's go
questions that
for
we
it.
have for you was, what's your most challenging diorama?
The most the most challenging diorama. Actually, I think there's one. It's all the way up. Oh, there's
I'm just
breaking news.
giving, yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
giving people a quick screen
yeah,
so they can see that. Even though all your information is, it's
yeah.
going to be in the
If you
description.
go
You
all the
said,
way up there on the featured, yep, right over there. So this is a diorama that I actually. It was a tavern or whatever diorama that I promised my buddy Johnny Tam. I would like to think he's the Mythic Legion's king of in the north in Canada.
mm-hmm,
He's got like the biggest collection, and I promised this for like 6 months, and then that's the time when I had my kid and we moved into the previous house that we moved into, and I
mm-hmm.
felt so bad. I actually built this thing, believe it or not, over the weekend, and like mind you, like I had the support of my wife and my mother-in-law, like they just left me alone, and I'm like, I really feel bad. I want to get this going because whatever. So that took me about 3 days, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was probably the most challenging thing because just the speed. Like I literally I worked on it for like, I don't know, 15 hours a day or some craziness like
Oh
that.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, it was just like a little bit of like painting, letting it dry, working on something else, this and that. So, and I'm looking at it now and I'm like, oh man, I feel like I can do a little better kind of things, here and there, because it was like a little bit rushed, right? But he really loved it, and I'm like, can I have it back someday? And he's like, no, but
Wow, look at that.
yeah, that's actually a shout out to who's that? He's actually a Canadian guy as well. Oh my God, Grime City. I don't know if you
Yes,
guys, yeah,
yep.
Grime City.
My
So
cousin.
yeah, he I got those printed from him. Super cool guy. He's got some crazy stuff, man. So he's got that.
So you said, I think this is great. I mean, it's you know how sometimes like when I build dioramas too, sometimes I get so focused on the littlest stuff that
Yeah,
that I've been learning that lately. There's some things that you can kind of get away with and just be
yeah,
like, because when you pull out, you're like, this is really good, but
yeah,
then when you move in a little bit, you're
yeah,
saying most of your eyes are on the
yeah,
characters and
yeah,
the environment's like a set piece.
yeah.
But I think this looks great. But you say that there's things that you wish you could do differently.
Oh, I'm
So
looking at
what
it right
about,
now.
yeah, what about this build? Do you
What I
think that you
changed?
would improve? Yeah, what would you want to improve on?
So for example, like you look at the wood beams. There's a
Okay.
technique that you would like pretty much just I would draw in the wood grain itself, but
Oh
then
yeah. Hmm.
you probably used it as well. Like you can get like a wire brush and kind of get like a finer, smaller type of
Yeah.
um, wood grain. It looks a lot more accurate,
Hmm.
do you know Noah by any chance? I'm trying to remember his handle, his Instagram handle. He's
Is it Noah Pratt?
Noah Pratt. Yeah, what's his handle again? He's like
Yeah.
he's
Is
my
this
boy too. Jesus,
it's not it's not
anything's posable. Anything's
yeah,
posable,
that's
right?
what I was gonna say. I didn't
Yeah.
know, but I get that one mixed up sometimes with Pulsable Productions.
Oh,
'Cause sometimes people have close names.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah. So
but yeah,
but yeah, so that's what you would
like if you look
change?
at his details, like and he builds some crazy dioramas as well, and big dioramas,
Hmm.
and yeah, I would be like, okay, I should have done that instead, right? If I had the time, a little bit more time to go, and if I was to build one for myself, and I don't know about you, Mr. Page, but I find that if I'm building a diorama for myself, I'm like, oh, okay, good. This is uneven. Yeah, who cares? It's just for me.
Yeah.
And if I'm building it for a friend, or if I'm building it as someone's paying me to do it, so to speak, right?
Hmm.
I'm like, oh no, I can't. I can't do that. And then it would take a lot longer. But
Yeah.
do you do that sometimes, or anybody that builds dios? Like you just like, who cares, right?
I you know what I do is that's one, that's two. We're doing tapping right now. But so I'm harder on myself with any project period. Like I don't try to do it too much. One, two, three, four, five. Congratulations, we got it. That's it. Full fractured little scarecrow mark piece. So that's four. I have to figure out how to do that a little bit better. I get distracted. But so I'm really hard on myself. Like sometimes I'll DM my friends and I'll show them and they'll go, "That looks cool," and I
Yeah.
go, "No, it's not good," and I'll scrap it and I'll rebuild it all because
What?
because you're your worst critic.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
like yeah, you're just constantly and it's a good thing. I think that was
Of
ingrained in me
course,
early, but it's you're just trying to make it look really good.
of
And
course.
I've learned to kind of like step back a little bit from it
Yeah,
because like when I looked at your photo, I'm like, what would you really want to improve on with this? Because it's interesting to hear other
yeah.
people how they view things. Like to
Oh
me,
yeah.
that would be a perfect setup. You got
Mm-hmm.
everything that you need there,
Right.
but having that awareness to say, yeah, I want to improve, and I've learned that I'll take that and I'll carry it to the next project. I'll try not to sit on it too
Absolutely,
much.
absolutely. Right. There's
Yeah,
always a next build. There's always a next photo, and at the end of the day, man, yeah, this is something that we kind of use, at least for us, for me, as an escape to like from normal life and all that. It shouldn't be like this. Should not be a pressure type situation. It's just to relieve pressure, right?
right.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
you can't take the fun out of it.
No, you can't. And I think a lot of times we all get kind of wrapped up in that
Yeah.
where you're just kind of I've had to set time limits for myself now.
Right.
Yeah, I have to do that
Yeah.
because if I don't and I don't send these little deadlines, one, two,
Yeah.
three, four, five, congratulations, these are the five. But if I don't do that, then I get in this creative black hole, and I'll just go.
Yeah.
I'll do something like I'll go. You know what? I should have shaved this part down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody's gonna look at this drawer really, unless you're doing some kind of like unless you're
Super
doing some kind
close
of like
up. Yeah.
macro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I have to tell myself, dude, just put it down. I'll tell you, I hate seam lines. I hate seam lines. I've been building
Yeah.
off and on for a couple of years, and
Yes.
so it really bothers me. And I've been trying different techniques to try to figure out what to do to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've just kind of accepted there's certain things that I just can't change about seam lines for right now. So
Okay, that's fine.
yeah. But yeah, I was wondering what part of your hobby you found most challenging? Because one of the things that I think is probably it's a hot topic, but I think we can kind of dance around it.
Sure.
Is let's kind of wade into this a little bit. Um, so there's a lot of I talk about this a lot because I like to hear people's different opinions about it. There's a lot of
Yeah.
negativity in the
Yeah.
community, and having these talks, it's not to bash on negative people. It's just to kind of figure out what's going on and what we can do as a community to make it better.
Right.
And so I was wondering if you have anything in the collecting community that kind of takes you out. Like when you get into something, you know how you have that joy of I'm going to play with
Yes.
this today, I'm going to build this today.
Yeah.
Is there stuff in that you see in the community that just kind of go that kind of deflates you or takes some of the joy out of collecting?
Yeah. No. 100%. Like it's tough, right? Because we all have our friends and all that good stuff, right? And at times, uh, it's just human nature. We get all clicky and this and that, and it shouldn't be like that, right? It shouldn't be like that in high school, anyways. But it is what
Yeah,
it is. And I think at times we have that subconsciously, like we kind of hold on to that and move on to we're all adults, and we have these friends, and yeah, I don't like people making fun of people. Like I said, I don't like people. Kind of talking down because I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, we're fucking playing. Excuse my language. We're playing with toys, man. And I'm telling you, because I'm a little bit passionate at that. It's just at the end of the day, like we're all a bunch of dorks. You know what I mean? We're all a bunch of like
yeah,
nerds just playing with toys. And I'm like, how can you be like condescending? How can you be like think highly of yourself, so to speak, if you're just playing with toys? And
right,
if I look at that, I just kind of I'm able to laugh at myself. I'm able to just kind of be like, man, this is just it's just a nice kind of like escape from what I do for work, which is like some craziness. I deal with transit and transit control and teaching people how to drive a bus, pretty much, right? So it's pretty stressful. So I don't want to like bring that in, right? That negative
yeah,
vibe and all that stuff, or whatever you do in life,
right,
or whatever you do, right? It's just this is supposed to be like just nerding out, geeking out, like who cares,
yeah.
right? and that's what it is, right? But it's always going to be there, I think, because people are just very different, and people have like big personalities, and people have this and that, and at the end of the day, yeah, it's if you're like a content maker, for example, right? You want the views, you want the follows, you want the engagement, right? And sometimes, yeah, you can take that personally, and that's you, right? That's cool. That's all right.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of I know there's a lot of stuff that happens within the community like adds stress, but there's also stuff outside of it as well.
Right? Yeah.
And probably one of the biggest things that you brought up to me, and I was like, man, I really want to talk about this with you and just discuss it openly, especially because it is a hot topic, is just the skyrocketing prices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just with one line, it's with every line, it
Yeah.
seems. And it's not to
Absolutely.
call out any particular line, but I
No.
just noticed across the board that is. So has this impacted you in a way where you're cutting down some of the lines that you collect, or are how are you adjusting to it? That would be the question.
Yeah.
Are you
No,
cutting down
absolutely.
lines? Are you getting picky? Or are you?
It was actually even like a little bit before then, and it wasn't because of I guess we have the inflation coming up, right? If I was listening to the news the other day,
Mhm.
driving to work, and that's what it kind of popped in. I'm like, oh man, we're kind of like impending into like this, the prices going up and all this
Yeah.
stuff, right? And not just
Mhm.
with toys. I mean, like I'm talking about food and everything. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, like what do I need to do? But I was like subconsciously already kind of trying to do that because it's not so much of I just want to collect one line. I'm like I'm not gonna just not collect Marvel Legends because all my teams are good, right? I'm gonna pick and choose that stuff, right? I'm not gonna collect just Mezco because I love it all, but like it's just like if it doesn't vibe with me, then I kind of want to pull myself out there, right? But
Hmm.
yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about quality, right? And like what you're saying, not to throw shade at any, but we were all talking. If you look at all the comments on the feed and stuff like that, I think a lot more people are like more mean in the way that they say it, right? But like the ghostwriter that just they had for HasLab and stuff, like they were trying to entice people with that extra figure. It didn't happen, and then they're trying to they made nice and they threw on this other figure for the head of it. And people are still trying to crap on Hasbro and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, just what? Why do you have to do that, right? If you're
Yeah.
not digging it, just ease back, don't buy it, right? And
Right.
it's kind of like they're making fools out of themselves, really, right? Because at the end of the day, once again, it's just toys and
Yeah.
everything. But there's not much you can do, man. Everywhere you go, it's going to be like that. And um, one thing, I don't want to be like always kind of bigging up Mythic Legions. One of the reasons why I kind of still really love this line is because when they did a Kickstarter, uh, I don't know, it was like $20 a figure, $30 a figure, or something like that, USD.
Yeah, I've heard.
Um, and but look, the most latest waves right now, they added better articulation, new sculpts, soft goods by another Toronto guy, CJ Ism.
Yes,
If you guys
Jism.
know
Yeah.
Sajism, right? CJ,
Yeah.
like all those guys really uh, elevating the product, but like it only went up like $2, $3, $4. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on with Hasbro and licensing and all this stuff. Starting lineup. I think you posted something like that in that video. But there's
Yeah.
more. There's other things. There's other things that. But it's just that we have to get used
Yeah.
to it. And what I'm dancing around it. But what I'm trying to do is I'm still gonna do like I'm still gonna collect random things here and there, right? But
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. Those Amazon sales, I might have to
Yeah.
wait. I might have to wait. Or
Yeah.
or like if a local toy store or toy comic shop or whatever has those sales, I might wait. Maybe I'm not buying whole waves, so to speak, to build. Like I'm like, do I really need this build a figure? And then what am I gonna do with
Yeah.
all those other figures, right? So
Yeah.
things like that, man. It's just like you got to pick and choose. I don't know. What are you doing?
Uh, when I first started out, I was just everywhere. I was gimme, 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 gimme. Gah,
Yeah.
gah, gah. It's like a cookie monster. I'm just eating up all this shit, and it's bad because I would watch certain influencers or content
Yeah.
creators, and they all do a very good job
Yeah.
of of saying this is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And I kind of adopted some philosophies where, for one, I would look at what they were doing with whatever the figure they were
Yeah.
reviewing or talking about, and I would say, am I going to do that? Mezco automatically for me is always, I'm always going to collect that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a gimme. But there was other figures that I would see certain content creators of like, am I going to be able to do that? And like
Mm.
I would say at this stage, what I'm doing, I'm not going to be able to do what this person is doing. And does it fit with all the stuff that I have?
Correct. Yep.
Um, and then, like you said, trying to find deals, but then also just kind of accepting the fact that either money catches up with you or space.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, I don't care
Big
who
time.
you are.
Yeah.
One of those things is going to catch up with you eventually, and so you have to kind of decide. And I have shit in my closet about to explode. And it's the reason why I was like, oh, what do I do with this? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you
Yeah.
know, I'll do it as
Yeah.
giveaways later. But you're just kind of looking at stuff, and then there's, you know, how we were talking about earlier about content creating and building dioramas.
Yeah.
All that stuff is just eating your time, and you're trying to
Oh
balance
yeah.
with your family.
Yeah.
And so oh my God, I say this every single week, but there's four things on my floor right now I haven't opened because
Yeah.
I've done a couple videos or I'm
Right.
prepped for something else. So you gotta,
Right.
it's just balance. You gotta figure out what works for you. But I don't, I know it's a tangent, but I think a lot of times what happens in the community is people will see other people with the ability to get a figure,
Yeah.
and that doesn't resonate well with certain people. And so well, yeah, if you see a guy in the group that's getting every single figure,
Yeah.
that kind of rubs some people the wrong way. And so what do? You can't say it's not a knock against them. It's the
Yeah.
truth. Like
Yeah.
just like you said with competition with other things
Yeah.
too, people look at those things. And so let's say guys looking at whoever and they're saying he gets every single figure. I can't stand it. Sometimes it's not even about the character of the company. Sometimes it's just the fact that maybe someone needs an outlet. And they say, you know what?
Yeah.
I want to take some kind of joy out of it. Because I'll be honest with you,
Absolutely. Yeah.
why would you care what somebody else is spending their money on?
Exactly.
So
Exactly, man.
yeah.
Oh, it is always like that. It doesn't matter. There's something going on in their head or their life, and hopefully they can figure it out, right? Because it's not a good way to live, man. It's not a good
Yeah.
way to live. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, and it's just fuel to the fire. I've noticed that a lot of everybody's jumping on these companies and content. It's like a content wave right now, and everybody's kind of riding it.
Yeah.
And so, and because it racks up views, it racks up, engagement. And I
Yeah.
always hope that one day maybe that pendulum will swing the other way. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I said something the other day. I wasn't frustrated, but I was just like, somebody pulled me into this conversation.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, what do you think? What's your excuse for this page? And I said, I'll be honest with you. I wish you guys would show up for guys that are posting pictures or content creators that are
Yeah.
trying to get the group to watch their video, or
Yeah.
guys that are doing builds. People
Yeah.
put time in it. I'm
Yeah.
like, and you guys are jumping in on this other stuff. Why don't you show support for community members?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And so, I don't know. I think people think a like is like, it's monetary. Like, I'm not going to
Right.
like this
Right.
person's stuff. It's cool. You can hit
Wow.
like, and nobody's collecting that shit. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember how many likes I got for something the other day. Who cares, dude?
Yeah.
Like, it's a like, it's a comment. Just be positive.
Absolutely.
Anyway, bad tangent,
No.
but anyway.
No, man. And that's what it is, right? And that's what it is. We have to think like that more, actually, because like you said, it is community, but sometimes we don't act like it is, right? And it's not. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I don't try to filter anybody. So.
No, it's all good. Fractured English, what's up, man?
So, what are some things that kind of keep you focused then? I mean, I know you're busy, but like, what
Yeah.
are some of the things that you kind of do to kind of keep yourself from letting all that overwhelm you?
Oh, it's like I said, right? If it's something that I don't find fun or something that I don't really like, I don't force myself to do it, right?
Mhm.
And that's what it is, man. Like I said, right now the focus is on the kids. The focus is getting the house in order and all that stuff, right? But when it's time to go, like I have really nice or a great support system with my wife and my mother-in-law. They take care of the kids and they give me the time to do what I love, right? So I'm very blessed in that sense. But yeah, man, it's something therapeutic, and I think anyone that's kind of done anything with painting or diamond making and stuff like that, I don't know. I just throw on some Friends or some Office and stuff like that, and then you just kind of like, I don't know. I've sorted out problems. I've sorted out things that I need, planning and stuff like that, and I'm just cutting like foam or I'm just like painting, and like something therapeutic about that, right? So sometimes it's not even about like the actual build itself, but it's like, like my time to kind of like think and all that good stuff, right? Yeah, so it doesn't even matter. Like if I have to kind of give myself time for to finish a project, right? It just comes naturally, and it's just like that, right? And maybe it just comes with that type of background of my work that I do and everything. Like everything is just so time sensitive that like you just kind of plan and do it up, right? Because but then if you don't finish it, you don't finish it, right? There's always tomorrow, or there's I'm always going to take care of the family first, or I'm always going to do all these other things first, right?
Family
It's family first, man. Like this is, and that's the thing, Paige. We're not here, this is not our main jobs or anything like that. And I think if it was, oh man, I wouldn't love it as much, right? If I had like deadlines and all that stuff, it would be tough, it would be tough.
Yeah.
For this stuff at least.
Well, it's good that you stay grounded with it, and it's nice to know that you have perspective with some of that. Like it's more of an escape outlet. I use it for therapy all the time.
Yeah.
It is like you said. There's problem solving. Like I'll build something. I'm like, how do I figure this out?
Yes.
And it's occupying your mind, and it's taken away from stuff. And I've tried to do like dual duty with it too. Like I'll because I'm sitting here, you know how it is. You're building, you're painting, your hands are occupied.
Yeah.
So I'll throw on guys that I like or that I love their content,
Yeah.
and I'll just go through, and that way it helps them. But then also I'll sit through the ads because I can't do anything because I'm painting. I can't skip. But then I remember that's helping whatever content creator, or I'll listen to music, or or watch a show or something like that. But it's therapeutic, man. I really think some people need a little bit more of that in whatever aspect. So
absolutely, man, absolutely.
So what would be your advice for people who are possibly balling on a budget? We're trying to buy lines.
Falling on a budget.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're all doing it because prices, I keep saying this all the time. I said this a year ago, that people are going to have to start deciding either mainlining or cherry picking or figuring out what they like, because eventually prices are just going to skyrocket and it's going to price point people out. The economy's affected that. So what would be your advice for people that are trying to get some of this stuff that maybe they just can't afford?
And you know what, I always kind of go back to like Marvel Legends because I think they just come out so often, and I think a lot of people collect them because they used to be at least a little bit cheaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but now you got to be careful, right? And it's like, okay, I'm going to buy this Spider-Man, right? But I'm going to like sell it later on to buy the next Spider-Man, right? So nowadays, there's who's going to buy that Spider-Man you're trying to get rid of? So now you're going to be stuck with it, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to be that kind of game plan it's changed a little bit, right? And then we got HasLabs to kind of worry about, and then like the Mezco drops all these pre-orders and stuff like that. So you got to just be. A lot of our teams, so to speak, are kind of completed already, and then now they're kind of just coming back with better figures or revised figures. So you got to kind of see and look at the plastic that you have and be like, am I happy with this? Am I okay with this? Am I getting my money's worth, right, for it, right? What line can I get my most money's worth for it, right? But once again, though, I mean, honestly, if it makes you, it can be $200 or something, but if it brings you so much joy, then so be it, right? You might have to just be like, okay, this one is like, I just got this for FOMO, or I got this because, if you second guessing yourself, right? You know what you want to get, right? Mm-hmm. But you just kind of have to be a little smarter now. Who knows? Because I don't think they're going to learn their lesson, or they're not going to. because they got families to feed too. They got corporations, things to pay for, all that stuff. It's not gonna be going down
Hmm.
anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah. There's a great question for you too. As a toy collector, how do you feel about reissues?
Reissues in a sense of like the exact same figure, and then just popped out again, or is that like
Yeah, I'm wondering what people mean. Like, let's say it's so weird nowadays. Like when
mm,
people say repaints or reissues, because
yeah,
sometimes it's not even. I don't
yeah,
think it's that. When I came in, when I was collecting Marvel Legends,
yeah,
uh, there was a character that came out,
yeah,
and somebody said, "Oh God, it's character again." And I said, "Well, I wasn't collecting them.
exactly, yeah,
I would like to have
yeah,
this."
yeah, yeah,
And so I don't know if somebody means like a reissue of a character, because then again, one of the things that comes into play is, are the materials better?
correct,
Did
yeah,
they upgrade, did they upgrade the body? Did they upgrade
yeah,
the paints? So I don't personally think reissues are bad. And I know that may be segueing into variants, because you know how
yeah,
Mezco, they'll
yeah,
get tagged with certain things like, oh, this is just Hawk P40 repainted.
yeah.
When there are a few differences.
Oh, huge, yeah. Like the soft goods would be different, and yeah,
Yeah, the soft goods. There's that tattoo.
yeah,
There's a couple of other minor tweaks and stuff
right,
like that. I've never understood it, because at the end of the day, all this stuff is optional for you to buy.
yeah, yeah,
It's not like you
yeah,
kickstarted it and then
yeah,
they said, "Hey, guess what?
yeah,
We're doing this."
absolutely,
So I don't know. I've never really
yeah.
gotten Spider-Man. How many times they put Spider-Man out for Marvel Legends?
Exactly right.
I don't.
Jace Figs. Sorry, I'm reading on the comments. And Jace Figs, what's up, buddy? He's a good
Yeah.
guy. But yeah, reissue for Mayfex is money. So that's what in my head when you said reissue,
Hmm.
uh, that's in Mayfex. So for that example, like the Mayfex Spidey, right? The 075. A lot of people were like selling that thing for $250 or Canadian at least, right? So it's a pretty high price point. They re-released it, and then everybody got theirs, right? Happy. The same
Right.
thing with the Mayfex Batman and Hush and the Superman, right? It helps
Hmm.
people out, right?
Right.
Um, so I have no problem with that. I think maybe like people that are I don't want to say is scalpers still okay to say, I don't know, but people that want to resell the figures, yeah, of course they would get totally butthurt, right? Because I'm not buying these figures. Let's be honest, to like
Hmm.
retire on these figures. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you got to think about those. If you're asking for my advice, you got to think about that way, right? I buy them because
Hmm.
they bring me joy and this and that. And if I can like trade it up for something else that I can like, that's good. If I can't, then that's fine too, right? But I didn't buy
Right.
it to go and be like, okay, I'm gonna put my kids to college, with like 75 Spider-Mans from Aphex, right? So that's what you guys got
Right.
to think about. So I love the reissues myself, right? Because I mean the Spider-Man, what's it called? Is it the Maplex? What's his name? Miles, right?
Oh
No,
yeah,
sorry, the
yeah,
Sentinel. My apologies,
yeah.
Sentinel Miles
That
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 dropped
got
again.
reissued.
So I got that. I'm like, because I was on the fence about it, and then I saw the reviews, and then my friends got it, and they're like, Ray, what the hell's wrong with you?
Hmm.
And like I'm so happy to re-release that, and I'm so happy that Mayfex is re-releasing like certain things. The Gambit, that guy was going for like $300, some crazy money, right? And then everybody got theirs, and then everybody's happy, right? So that's a long, long-winded answer for your question there, but yeah, man, it depends what it is, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I've never really had a problem with it. I think it's cool,
yeah,
but that's just me. I don't read into this stuff. And somebody mentioned once before that somebody was like, "Oh, they're doing," because you know how Mezco gets this thing where it's like, "Oh, they're using the IP for a licensed character," and it's
yeah,
like, no, that's not the way it works. I'm like, that stuff has already been in development
yeah,
years before you've probably even seen it, and
correct.
so um, I don't ever think that they're like taking slots or taking character slots from somebody else. Some of this stuff
Hmm.
is already planned out, so it's not like you're taking away something from somebody else. And then
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, the ultimate mindset for me is just, yeah, okay, they gave that to you. Do you have to buy it? It's like,
Yeah,
no, you don't. You don't
exactly.
have to buy it. But so since we're talking about that kind of stuff, maybe stuff that frustrates collectors, how do you feel about delays? Because I know it's a stigma with Minisko, but
Yeah.
it seems like it's been kind of seeping out. into other companies as well. I know Marvel Legends, the last couple things that they put out, either GI Joe or
Yeah.
Hasbro, either GI Joe or Marvel Legends, those things are almost projected a year out.
Yeah.
Some of them, not all.
Right.
Make sure I clarify.
Correct.
That's some Marvel Legend guy getting in here and going, "No, you don't know shit." But there are some that are projected for next year. So how do you feel
Yeah.
about delays? Like, because all this stuff kind of ties together. Money
Yeah.
that you're spending, it's just kind of like thrown in the air, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to get it whenever this company
Yeah.
decides to get it. So how do the delays impact you
All
with
right.
buying, and how you feel about
Well, because I mean, I collect. If anyone in here collects Mythic Legions, it's we pay. So like the Alithia wave back there,
it? Mm-hmm.
they just came in about a week ago from into Canada. So they were about like I don't know, maybe like a couple of weeks ahead in the States. We ordered that I think like December, maybe 2020. And like the thing is, you drop your money, you pay for it up front. With the store
Yeah,
horseman, you pay
yeah,
for it up front. It's not
yeah,
like one thing I love about Mezco is like until it's about to ship, they don't charge you, right? Depending
right,
if you don't pay PayPal, excuse me. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, things like that, right? So I'm kind of like a little bit used to kind of waiting in that sense, right? And that's why I kind of it's nice that I collect like other things. So if I'm waiting for this pre-order, like it's okay because then I can go with it. But it's like guys, honestly, like it's not the only thing in this world that's being delayed. Like it's a lot of things going on, right? I think China shut down like 4 months ago again, like because they,
yeah.
they had another outbreak, right? Like it's just like a ripple effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things going on and all that stuff, right? And it's tough. It's not they don't make money that way, or they don't. The companies want you to be happy, right? So this is not like a ploy for them. It's just something that we have to deal with. Unfortunately, of course, I get a little bit annoyed as well, right? But I'm like, yeah, it's like who cares? Like you know what I mean? There's a lot better things to
Yeah,
do in life, like. Um, but I love the passion. I love the passion that people have for these kind of things, right? But you can just put that energy towards something else, man. You're bored and you're waiting for your toys. Go build a dio for them to be like kicking it afterwards, or shoot photos with them. And trust me,
exactly.
you don't want to have any time in the world to like.
No, you won't.
You just be
No,
like,
you
frick. There's
won't.
no, there's no. These toys are coming in. Oh, I got 5 boxes here. You're gonna
Yeah,
have the other problem, right? But
yeah. Man, I totally agree with that. I love looking at things from both perspectives.
yeah,
I think something that's been happening lately with delays, and then also with some of the pre-order stuff that's going on right now, is that I think people are kind of finding their voice. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't know if it's the voice that really can get the change that people want.
right.
I think people are kind of understanding that, oh, if I don't back this, or I don't put money for this, or if I quit a line, or I do something,
Yeah,
this is going to solve the problem. I think it helps raise awareness, but I don't think it gets you kind of where you want to be. I don't I don't really want to talk about it, but everybody else is everybody else has dissected this whole
yeah.
situation. But I do think that there's a lot of stuff that you learn. I think that collectors are learning that they do have a say so.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
I think it's the needle's just been pushed to 100
Right.
instead of saying collectively going, you know what? If we all, I've said this so many times. I was like, if you don't like the product, don't buy
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
so if we all collectively said, hey, we're not going to support this,
Yeah.
but not be like, if you,
Yeah.
and, all this ranting and
Yeah.
raving about it, I think it has the same impact.
Oh,
But I
if
don't think,
even better, because money talks,
yeah,
man. You could say F
yeah,
you, and the sales are still the same. Hasbro's, sorry, as a name
mhm.
drop, like any company
No,
is gonna be like, okay, you guys can say whatever you want, and we'll just keep doing the exact same thing. Exactly, money talks, man, 100%. hundred
yeah,
percent.
yeah. And I just think if maybe if one of the examples I give is like groups. I keep saying that I think groups have a lot of power, and I don't think they really understand it or know how to utilize it yet. So, like, if you had some problems with a line or something like
Yeah,
that, somebody will tell me all the time, "Oh, well, you're trying to like not have negativity and not." you're trying not to let me use my voice to say negative stuff. I was like, dude, I
Yeah.
don't care if you say negative stuff. I don't own shares in the company, and I
No.
don't, I don't. You can say
No.
whatever you want.
Absolutely,
But
man.
I
Yeah.
had a guy on once. I was like, tell me what figure you hate, and he
Yeah.
goes, and I'm just sitting there like, okay. I was like, I'm still good.
Yeah.
You're not hurting me. I don't
That's
care.
right. That's right.
Yeah, but it was like I think that but nobody wants to hear a bunch of complaining because even though you have that information in layered in the complaint, you can't you can't sift any of that out because
No.
nobody can get past the complaining. So I think if we kind of figured out how
Hmm.
to get the message across in a way that's a little bit better than what we're doing, I think that would make huge impact.
Yeah.
Huge, because obviously you already saw it.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. So,
Absolutely. And the
uh,
thing is, it's so cool that like, with social media and stuff like that, right? Like, with Ryan, and we keep going back to Hasbro and stuff like that, right? But it's just kind of a little bit fresh in our minds. We just have like a literal direct line with the people that are kind of like impacting all these things, right? And 20 years ago, you didn't have that, right? What are you going to email like Hasbro or not email? You're going to write into Hasbro saying something like that, right?
yeah,
It's kind of cool that sorry, I forget the other gentleman's name there. Not
I think it's
Dwight.
Ryan, Dwight,
Dwight and
and what is it? Dan Yoon?
yeah, Dan.
Dan
Yeah,
Yoon?
Dan,
Yeah,
right? And this guy's going on Twitter trying to like say like, "Hey guys, can you behave?" And I'm just like, "Oh man, I can't believe he has to do that. Like that's so sad. Like you know what I mean? Like you're telling adults like to, have to be quiet and stuff like that about toys. It's kind of
mm,
funny, right? And I feel bad for them sometimes, right? Because those guys, it's not their fault. It's not like they're sitting there like, "Oh no, let them wait." Right, but
yeah,
they kind of have to go and do that stuff. But once again, it's nice that we have the direct line, but it's
mm,
like that kind of sucks that we're treating people like they're a punching bag and stuff like that. But you know what I mean?
yeah. And I don't know how they handle it. Like I say it all the time. Like we like you just said, we have
Mm.
that access. Like I love what I keep her name Emily. I love what she
Yeah,
does. The
right.
rumor has it where she comes in and she says, "I heard this on the internet."
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm here to debunk it. And
yeah,
there's been
yeah,
a little bit of a movement with that, and I
yeah.
love it. I love the fact that a company,
Fantastic. Yeah.
yeah, they'll interject and say
Mm.
um, it could be applied to all companies. You just have
Yeah.
somebody in there, but stuff like that, like the thing with the pre-order today, how it went up for buy it, the Union Gomez, how it went up for buy it now,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it went back, it sold out, and then
Yeah.
it went up for pre-order.
Pre-order. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was sitting there thinking, everybody starts formulating these ideas and saying, oh, I'm not going to get it until this date, or I'm going to get it first. It would be cool if
Yeah.
there was just some kind of direct line and somebody saw that and said, hey, just to clear it up, this is
Yeah.
what's going to happen. And a lot of these companies are setting these bars and examples. And
Yeah.
I think it's a good step in the right direction, but the process takes a little while. And I hope that
Yeah.
people are patient with
Yeah.
it. So,
No, but it's so funny because like I've always wanted to kind of ask you because I think are you like the only person that's ever interviewed Mez?
no, he's done, from what I understand,
Yeah.
he's only done one on-camera interview ever, and that was way, way back when.
Yeah.
He's done, I guess you would call like print pieces where they'll
Yeah.
ask him questions and
Okay.
stuff
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. But as
That's
far
not the
as
same.
having, yeah, but as far as having,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I very, very lucky I was able to do that. So yeah,
That's crazy, man. Yeah. But
yeah,
yeah, like once
it's
again, I know exactly what you're saying. Like, yeah, I wish we had like a Danu for Mezco, so to speak, or
yeah.
But I mean, that person, I'd feel bad for because they'd be like ripped apart, like just pure like '89 Batman memes and like I don't know, like
And that's the point that I tried to make a couple
right?
times. I said that somebody said something, they throw out names or they'll say they
Yeah,
want somebody to communicate, and I'll
yeah.
say you guys don't understand. You're not making it very inviting for somebody who wants to take that
No,
position. I I can't, and I keep saying that they'd have to have the thickest skin ever. Because can you imagine
yeah,
that one guy that just comes out and says, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah, and I
yeah,
am the person that's going to be
yeah,
doing social whatever. I am the ambassador liaison for Mexico.
yeah.
What's on your mind?"
Good God, yeah,
Well, it's going to be, dude. You
right.
gotta. and that's where work has to be done on both sides. It has to be done on their part because obviously communication is process improvement for them, but it also has to be from the fan side too to say,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to get this.
Hmm.
Let's treat it with respect and try not to shit on it out the gate. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Oh gosh, so much, man.
Yeah. Okay, that's
So
like some heavy stuff. Sorry, my bad, guys.
no, this is
I
good.
just
I
want to do
thrive
a
on it.
quick shout out to my friend that's Sean. I don't know if he's still in here. He was actually in here, but he was kind enough to send us a jersey over. It's actually, I don't know if you guys can see it. If any GI Joe fans are here and
Yeah, I saw the
hockey
post,
fans,
bro. That thing looks good.
yeah, it's I don't want to. What is it? My gosh,
You
I'm
said there's
blanking.
only it was limited. There's only 300 pieces,
300
right?
jerseys. They sort of, I think all their jerseys, they're hockey jerseys. And it says Commander in the back over here. I'm totally blanking on the thing over here. But
That's cool, man.
they're
Only
geeky
300.
jerseys.
Yeah.
Geekyjerseys.com. They're a Canadian-based company, and I think I don't know. They don't need any help. They got a lot of stuff going on, like a lot of like they did a jersey for Halo. They did a jersey for like Zelda. As you can see, what do we got here?
Oh,
GI
I wasn't even
Joe.
screen sharing that.
Yeah.
I went to it and I wasn't even screen sharing.
Um, and yeah, man, super cool guy. It was just we actually just met at a birthday party for my cousin or my nephews, and he was there, and we just started talking, and then we just talked about. I'm like, oh man, '80s nostalgia stuff, blah blah blah, and then he ended up just sending this over. So I just wanted to give him a huge shout out, and I freaking love this thing. So it's pretty awesome.
Comfortable, soft, nice, good.
It is, man, and the thing is, it's breathable. It's like and. It's just perfect. It's a really nice jersey. Yeah, very limited. And yeah, man, give them jersey, geekyjerseys.com. Yeah, so they partnered up with Kevin Smith as well. So
Oh wow.
yeah, they do all his jerseys and all that good stuff. And I didn't know. I'm just like, okay, I didn't know I was talking to some big time dude. But he's a
Yeah.
super chill guy, man, and like he's super awesome. Yeah. So thanks again, Sean.
It
If you're
looks
still here.
good, man. It looks good.
Yeah. And another thing too, yeah, my boy E Collectibles, aka Mythic Mike, right? I just got to rock and make sure that, as you can see on the thing there, we have this kind of Saturday nights live. Kind of, we talk about Mythic Legions. If you guys are down Mythic Legions, we talk about a lot of stuff anyways. We just kind of hang out. A bunch of Canadian dudes. Articulated Art says, "Hey, that's a suck jersey. It's a sick jersey.
No, sick
Hopefully
jersey.
it's
Sick jersey.
and I'm not a jersey fan.
I wouldn't have put that up.
But no, but yeah, guys, hang out there on Saturdays if you guys can. And I think highly articulated is here, right? He's actually one of the hosts with me, and we just kind of hang out, right? And yeah, E Collectibles, he ships to pretty much North America, right? Mythic Legions, Marvel Legends, all that good stuff. Really cool, good guy, buddy of mine. He lives up here with me in Toronto. So
Sick,
that's it, man. I just want to kind of break it down a little bit because I know we were talking about some heavy stuff, right? So
Stand up one more time. Showcase.
oh
Showcase.
man, okay, don't.
Flash your
Oh,
show.
gosh.
Flash your show. Flash your show.
Hercules. This thing's huge on me, but
What's the back look like? I'm not
oh,
trying
it's
to
just
check out the ass.
Commander.
I'm just saying.
No, yeah. I see
Oh,
it.
oh, dude, it's
Yeah.
got the year and it's
Yeah.
got, dude.
And like it's got like some sick stuff, and like they did like this. I don't know. It's called like 100 wash challenge. If you go under Instagram, and it's like apparently it's the same thing. It didn't the embroiderment didn't get all messed up. It's all crazy. So check them out, man. Check them if you can still find it. Yeah, because I
it
think
was 300, right? So they're not sold out or anything, are they?
I asked him because my buddy wanted one, and he hasn't come back to me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Another thing that I wanted, no, man, thank you, bro. That thing was cool, bro. Another thing that I wanted to kind of talk to you about was Pre-Conz. So we have
yes.
two major events going, two titans, juggernauts going
Yeah.
against each other this weekend. I think it's a great weekend for
Yeah.
collectors. I think it's a good balance because when I was looking at some of the scheduling, it looks like you could bounce back and forth and kind of
Yes.
not miss anything. Fingers crossed there's not another pre-order or anything like that. from Mezco side, you know. I shot my wad today on that shit.
Yeah.
So
So for you,
um,
before we, do you like,
yeah,
do you still do doubles? That's another thing too. I want to add again. Like, are you like still doing doubles?
yeah.
Oh, and is
It,
it to trade or what are you doing? One to open and one to box?
no,
What? Because that's
so
another
bef-
thing we can kind of like, if you're really trying to cut down, man. You know.
you're like, I'll take that off of you. You're like, I'll take it. Man, I think I've said it before. The reason why I used to do it before was because with Mezco, some of the quality, there were QC concerns in the beginning because of
Ah, I see.
the plastic that they were using. But so it was one of those things that you just had to do.
Yeah.
But it became a habit. But now I just like having an extra. Now, the whole, what is it, one for stock, one to rock, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And there are some figures that I get multiples of, or I try to get them from other people in the community and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
yeah, I like it. I'm invested in the line, so I don't mind doing that.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
it's definitely a habit that I need to kind of
Yeah.
get out of because the quality is better now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Uh, but that's the reason why I used to do it
Hmm.
and still do it.
Yeah.
So,
It'd just be like incredibly hard if you're trying to do it with multiple lines, right?
oh my God, yeah, I don't even try. Like I'll
Yeah.
cherry pick some of the lines, but
Yeah.
Mezco's, like I said, Mezco's the main line. But I'll make sure
Yeah.
that, like we talked about with budgeting,
Yeah.
I'll definitely make sure that I have money reserved
Yeah.
for whatever the figure is. And then
Hmm.
there's times like when drops won't happen. Like say
Yeah.
something was slotted to come in this calendar
Yeah.
year. For me, that's money that I've already kind of set
Absolutely.
aside
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
racks up in the bank. So when they get
Yeah.
these surprise, like today,
Yeah.
I got two surprise charge notifications,
Yeah.
the Batman and then the
Hmm.
5 point stuff. I didn't even blink an eye. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I already
Cool.
got that
Yeah.
saved up. So,
Perfect. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but so we do have PulseCon and we do have
Hmm.
RumbleCon. I was wondering, trying to get your thoughts on which one let's say, which one are you going to have your most attention on? You're going to try to balance, and which, we'll stick with that question first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that the ones that I really want to watch, they're kind of split. The starting lineup, I think it's what I saw the schedule that they posted there. Starting lineup is tomorrow. Starting lineup's tomorrow, and then I think at 3 o'clock, and then 3:45 is the Marvel Legends. It's actually funny because I'm driving home from work, so hopefully I don't hit anything. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Drive safe, drive safe.
oh, Roger that, yeah. And then we got tomorrow is the Joes, right? Oh, sorry, on Saturday is the Joes, and all that good stuff, right? And then the
Yeah.
Mescals, like I said, it just kind of flips in there. I don't know, man. Like I'm still kind of, like, I still want to see like a Storm Shadow, the Mescal Storm Shadow. Like they just showed his face, I believe.
Yeah.
I want to
I'd
see
love
like,
to see Firefly. I'd love to see the
yeah,
Firefly. Like
because
a
he did,
in hand, in hand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, for sure. Because I
Yeah.
honestly like that. Like if it's Joe's, like I don't mind collecting like two lines because it's just I don't know. It looks so damn good. I don't know.
Hmm.
That's what I'm really really excited about. That Robin, if they can just if you think they're gonna show the Robin,
I thought they were gonna kind of do it for Batman Day, but I don't know if they're really gonna do any of that because it's RumbleCon. I,
oh it's also
I,
I apologize. Yeah, I didn't even
oh no, no,
yeah
I thought the thing because last year around this time they had MezcoCon, and
yeah.
that was I personally like this branding a lot better
Mhm.
because for one, it kind of you're already telling the fan base, hey, this is what you can expect. You never
Yeah
know, they
yeah
might
yeah
slip some stuff in there, but
yeah
it seems like they're focused on this subline of the IP,
yeah
and they're like, hey, but I also like it because it doesn't seem like you're going to get in there and see 5 points or
right
MDS
right
stuff. You
yeah
you know
yeah
what you're getting when you get in there,
absolutely yeah
and then you don't have to. You're not really going to be tied down because they in the schedule they kind of say these are the times they're going to do the
yeah.
reveals. That's why I was saying it's cool because you can go, okay, I need to be
And
here for this
dropped
time,
out yeah.
and then I can drop over to Hasbro
Yeah.
and maybe check out some of the stuff that they
It's
got.
like an actual con. It's funny. It's like you're
It
trying to.
is.
Oh, should I go? Okay, let me map this out. Right? It's funny.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
crazy though.
PulseCon, I am looking forward to the starting lineup stuff. I know they kind of got out shaky, but I still
Yeah,
think that you can. I still think you can make up for it. I was telling somebody the other day, I was like,
yeah.
you could. What could you do? So I swear that they showed Michael Jordan, the silhouette for Michael Jordan.
That's what I said. That's what I
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
But
Same.
they were like, "Oh no, that's Mello," and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure Mello doesn't have
He's
that
bald.
silhouette." Yeah, I'm
He's
like, "Okay,
bald.
buddy." Yeah, I
Yeah.
got chewed out in the comments, but okay,
Did
it's
you
all
see
right.
the Did you see the Brian Scalabrine thing too?
I did the 101, right?
Yeah, the one of one.
Yeah.
So what I thought was going on is they're they're going to try and I'm trying to pull this up at the same time.
hmm
Technical difficulty. This is why people have like production teams and stuff like
Oh, they
that.
do. Yeah, it's usually when we do it. It's so much easier if you have somebody with you because they're doing. There's the guy in the chair, right? You know, you're like talking
Yeah.
away, and he's like just
Hmm.
pulling it up right for you. So it's all right.
Yeah.
We'll
And
talk amongst
so
ourselves.
yeah,
Talks
talk
amongst
amongst
yourselves.
yourselves. But so that shadow silhouette that they had, I could
Yeah.
have swore that they showed Michael Jordan. I can't find it right now.
How much is that figure gonna be? Like $300, man. That guy
I
does
don't
not.
know.
He's not cheap. He's not
I don't
cheap.
know. But what I figured what was happening is like, so say you had, so thinking about that, right?
Yeah.
They already know that they've kind of maybe hit a snag in the beginning with this
hmm
announcing it. So I was telling a friend they could
Yeah.
also do this with the heads, the scanning heads, even though they kind of priced it or whatever.
Yeah.
But they could come back and say, you know what, uh, Michael Jordan's in the next part of the starting lineup. That's going to be one of our premium figures.
Yeah.
But we're also gonna have, I don't know, I'm just saying this, Mellow. We're gonna have this
Yeah.
person, and we've decided to maybe cut down the price to what was it? How much was it? $50?
It was
Yeah,
50
40 something.
bucks. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've decided to cut down the price to maybe 35, $40 on this second wave. And so
Yeah.
now you probably still have some
Exactly.
people to get
There
mad,
you go. Yeah.
but you're also making
Yeah.
steps to say, hey,
Yeah.
we kind of jumped out the gate on this. You
Yeah.
know, we have licensing, we got to play this,
Yeah.
but there's, I always think companies can turn stuff around no
Absolutely.
matter what they did.
Yeah,
So,
and I think you're going to gain a lot more fans because it's like, okay, this is a company that's willing to listen, it's willing to learn from its mistakes, and
mhm.
it just wants to push through. If they kind of just go into the sunset without saying anything, that's it, man. Starting lineup and any type of like basketball figure, like football figure, we're not going to see another 20 years down. So like let's try our hand again.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but it was that those damn NFTs. Like I don't know if there's anybody that collects NFTs here. I don't want to single you out, but it's like they could have just kind of kept that away, right?
I'm wondering if they kind of looked at it and said, this is kind of the rage, and we're going to try to jump in on this, and they're trying to appeal to a market. When I
Yeah,
saw it, when I saw the thing, I don't complain about pricing, but when I saw it, I
yeah,
was like, holy crap. I was like,
yeah,
whoa, man. Like, this is a lot of money.
yeah,
And so I'm sitting there and I'm just contemplating and I'm going through to kind of get stuff ready for the video.
yeah.
And I'm looking at the times, I'm looking at NFT stuff. I don't know anything about it, so I'm doing research. But I was looking at it, and as I was going through it, I kept
Mhm.
thinking, I don't know if this is really focused for a collector. I think
Yeah,
this is more, if you broke it down to percentage, it's going to be this percentage for maybe
yeah,
NFTs, maybe, but that's kind of like on the wayside.
hmm
Then you also have the sports or
yeah,
classic starting lineup card
yeah,
collector, and then you had the remainder of it was
yeah,
for an action figure collector. But I still think that they could turn it around. They just got to
yeah.
kind of figure it out.
But those guys drop money too, though. Those card collectors, they drop serious
That's
money on the, you know what I mean? So,
that's what I mean. Like if you look at the NFT stuff,
mhm.
the way that it was mapped out, they had these cards,
Yeah,
common cards, just like regular cards that you get for
yeah,
anything. But the way they were broken down is almost like it was incentivizing you
yeah,
to get whatever special gold card
yeah,
or player,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden you have this token say, "Hey man, you want the LeBron gold card? It's going to cost you this much." And so now
yeah,
you're even pushing
yeah,
that figure market
yeah.
out even more. Those guys, they
Absolutely,
want to battle for that shit.
exactly.
So I think they need to find a way to kind of reconnect
hmm
and say, yeah,
We'll see,
we
man.
want you guys because there's so much that they could do with that line, man. You could do Dream Team, you could do Home and Away, you could do
Oh,
All Star Teams. There's so
oh
many
my
things that
gosh,
you could do
man.
with that line.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I saw somebody say something about the classics, like they probably wouldn't be able to get some of the classic players and stuff like that. I doubt that. You're telling me that there would be a
Yeah,
NBA
versus
player that
states. Yeah,
or retired NBA players not going to
yeah.
say,
Come
"Hey,
on, I'll say yes to that money. Yeah,
yeah, you're paying for the likeness rights and
yeah.
stuff like that." And so I know there's
Hmm.
more involved, but you can't tell me that those players wouldn't do it. That's why when I saw the Scalabrini thing,
Yeah,
if I would told you, "Hey, man, you want a Brian Scalabrini figure?"
yeah. Just for that, it
No
depends.
disrespect, Mr.
Yeah,
Scalabrini,
yeah.
you're a very good utility player, but I just think that they could they're obviously shopping it around to players and
Yeah,
they're trying to do this. So they're invested in it. But in order to get some of this other money from these other
yeah.
parts, they need to figure that out. So
Absolutely. If you want to pull up, sorry, Pablo. All I want from the line is basketball hoop. Don't really care. But if you guys actually go, I'm not sure if it's still available, but I got my
mhm.
basketball hoop from. It was an anime called Slam Dunk, and they have a
Yeah.
Slam Dunk line from the Chinese Amazon. There, what is it called? I'm
Yeah,
blanking.
with the hardwood floor. Was it I think it's I know what you
Yeah,
AliExpress?
yeah, sorry, yeah, AliExpress, correct, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I think from the pictures, from what I've seen, I think it's a little bit more cheap, but it's like a far superior basketball net. But it, highly articulated, and Pablo talked about this. If you want to pin that as well, page.
It's just
The I find it funny that Hasbro is saying they want to, because this is I didn't know this, and Adam, highly articulated, my buddy, talked about this, but it's madness. But here, yeah, here's the net there on. I actually have a picture of it on my Instagram, but
mhm. I
yeah,
pulled up in a different window. Technical difficulty. I'm gonna have to fire that production guy. He sucks. Mm. Yeah, so I find it funny that Hasbro was saying they wanted to go more green by eliminating plastic windows and boxes, but they
hmm,
put yeah NFTs. I saw this. Somebody said this, and it was probably Pablo
yeah,
that said this earlier. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. There's a bunch of other stuff to unpack with all that stuff.
it's
I don't
crazy.
know
I didn't know
why.
how much energy it is to create or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
See, okay,
I
but that's the thing though. Adam says we're going to get MJ though, right? I don't know, man. I got my Mayfex one, and
yeah.
it's like freaking amazing. You know, soft goods. I got multiple heads. I actually even bought the Dream Team version. Um, and you got shoes. He has a multiple shoes. You got the Jordan ones. He got the I think the Breads. Or no, sorry, the he has the Concords, right?
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know, man. I would love an MJ, but I'm like, I already have an MJ. I want like a Vince Carter or like an Allen Iverson or like a T Mac or something like that, right? Maybe Steve
Right.
Nash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would love to get. I would love to get some of those characters. I'm not
Look at
sure
these
about the
guys though.
who. Yeah,
Is this are those the articulated figures or are those something else there?
this might be the statues. I
The
was trying to
statues
pull up. Yeah, I was trying to pull up the ones that are articulated, the ones that come with, the ones that come
with the hardwood
with.
floor and the
Yeah,
hoop, right? The pieces.
yeah. I bought that whole team, and they have another. They have another jersey too as well. So
Yeah, yeah. That
yeah.
was a sick show.
Yeah, in the comic, I was looking at it.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of pub for the comic. I guess they're going to be doing either a movie or another set of comics.
Oh,
So
really? Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, PostCon, MexicoCon, that is this weekend. So please make sure that you check that stuff out. There's going to be so much going on with that. We talked about the starting
What do
lineup.
you think's going on there?
Um,
You didn't talk about what's the inside scoop, man. I know you got something. You got something
I
for
only
us.
know what the public knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only know that.
what's that guy with the snake head? Is it a snake head?
Oh,
What's
Death
his
Adder.
name?
Death Adder.
Yeah, you think he's coming down anytime soon?
I don't know. I remember they did a fan poll for that, and then he won.
Yeah.
I'm still kicking myself for that. And I was like, man, I voted for that MacGuffin guy. So. And they had Diptodoms and they had
Yeah.
Death Adder. And I was sitting there thinking, like, oh, but I don't know. I mean, you would think like the timing is right because that
Yeah.
was pretty much a year ago. So it takes a little
Hmm.
while. You got to think about it too. If you did a poll, that
Yeah.
means you didn't have the figure ready.
This is fair. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you did. I know people say, "Hey, what's up with that? How come we haven't seen this yet?" It's like, dude, you guys were the one that chose,
Yeah.
the figure. It doesn't just magically appear, but it's been a while, so maybe you'll see something like that.
You
I'm wondering
think?
if we'll see.
You think he's gonna
Hmm?
get like brand new everything, or is he gonna be a reuse of like maybe Agent, oh not Agent Gomez, but a Stealth Gomez, and like maybe the black suit Death Brigade, or
No, I think personally, I think if they did that, it would be something that because you want to make that stand out. But it's going to be nice to
yeah,
team build that because it's going to take time. But
yeah,
I mean, you got to kind of. I think that they're really invested in their IP.
hmm,
I got vibes from that, like that whole building. There was some stuff that I kind of read into it. Maybe it's a little bit too much, but
yeah,
with the whole union worker, they were
yeah,
building
yeah,
something new. I was like, are they saying that they're trying to improve and they're trying to build back stuff? And
yeah.
are they just building on their own IP? So I was like trying to read into certain
Wow,
stuff,
I
but
see. I just saw it for what it was. Like I see. This is why I watch your videos, man. I did not get that.
I
Wow.
just overthink stuff.
No, but it's like you're right, probably right. It's meant for you, man. I'm telling you. That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, this is a good one too. These are some great comics. So we're gonna go through that.
Oh
But yeah, I think
yes, yes.
yeah,
More
I
hoods,
think
please. More hoods.
I would
I'm
love to
down.
see another character. I always say this. I hope that they do. I'm pretty sure with the success of Vapor that they'll do it.
Yeah.
But I would love to see another Hoods character, but I want to see them put a female too, but on a female body. It'd be nice to have that
Hmm.
new addition to a
I'm
character,
down.
but I like you said, I think it's been a year, and I can imagine them trying to show something like that because they've had time.
Yeah.
So maybe they have it, maybe they won't. I don't know. There's a couple of things I can think of that they could
Yeah.
probably show. Hoods would definitely be one. That
Oh
would be
man, I'm
one.
so down. I'm so down.
Yeah. Yes. And of course, this is the one I'm probably rooting the most for because I know Minis has been asking for this for a while. So I think it would be cool if they kind of tease that. I'm glad that they're taking their time with it though, because it's
What
a
what
female.
is
You
this
know,
for people that?
Tangerine, the black female that was on the
Oh, is that what
cinematic
her name
teaser.
is? Yes, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't even. I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I was trying to describe her, and I'm like, I don't even know her name. Like nobody's gonna know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Foxy Cleopatra Black. Foxy Cleopatra.
Ooh,
Yeah. I want a
damn.
Cowboy Gomez and a Van Helsing. Ooh. Yeah. You know what? I think it would be cool if they did the beefed up version of Doc Nocturnal like they showed in the statue.
Oh
That
yes,
thing is
yes, yes.
sick, bro.
I remember that.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it Gomez building a headquarters? Or is it Gomez was building a headquarters to 112? Yep. See,
Hmm.
this guy gets it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like they're looking at it, going, you know what?
Yeah.
We're looking at some of this stuff. We're going to rebuild and we're going to make things better. But again, maybe that's me reading into it. So
No
this
man.
is a very good point. CTG said more villains. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
to have. I mean, we have these heroes.
Hmm.
You have H Squad that they're trying to build on, and you
Yeah.
have some ambiguous characters. Doc Nod, P40.
Yeah.
But to have that labeled villain, like this is a
Yeah.
bad. I always wondered when they were gonna. There was a point in the comic book when they said who controls the hive, and it was like the Black
Yeah.
Square Death Brigade comic. And you saw just a tease of it. I'm wondering when they're gonna bring that. That might be something, but
Okay.
they need something. Or it would be funny if they did another version of White Skull agent.
Oh wow.
That would be funny.
How much is he going for now? I can't. I don't even see that guy around kicking around.
Yeah, sometimes they kind of like I've noticed since, and you brought this point up, like with the recession and how
Yeah.
it's kind of affected collecting on the whole.
Hmm.
I've seen that one go for low, 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 well, as low as it
Really?
can be. Well, you remember like before everyone was like 800,
Yeah.
500.
Yeah.
or even a Gomez inspired indie. Yeah, man. Hasbro's doing their Indiana Jones. That's one thing I'm looking forward to.
Yes, I forgot about that. Correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so it would be cool to see something from, you know, I'm wondering if they could get away with that, or would they get stuck for likeness rights for Indiana Jones? So very good problem. Yeah,
Very true.
it's our new Mezco community. The Smiths, yes, very good core. Good seeing you, bro. Thank you, man, for coming in. Thank everybody for coming. But yeah, the Smiths, the kind of like the watcher guys, the guys that give the instructions to Hazard Squad Commander Gomez.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. See, there's so much, man. They can pull from. Like they got years and years to send out figs for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. But what? So you said starting lineup was what you're looking forward to.
Starting lineup, and of course Joe's, man. Joe's the next day, right? So
Hmm.
that's pretty much it, really, right? Because for me, like I kind of look at figures, and we're so blessed to have like the same like scale, right? I kind of like look at figures now, like what can I use together? Like it's all Darius's fault. It's all D Amazing's fault, right?
I
Because he
know that
likes to
guy,
like
man.
pit everything together, right? It's like
Yeah.
why do I freaking need predators for? Like they're way like too big, blah blah blah. And he put them in a picture together, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, give me some predators. I'm in, right? All
Yeah.
these things, right? And he just I love that. I love that world building and kind of putting everything together and like what if
Hmm.
just this and just mashing everything together. So, and that's why I collect so many different lines and all that good
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah. He came down and we were hanging out, and
I saw
he
that,
said,
man.
"Yeah, dude, he's a good guy, man. Him and
Yeah,
KJ.
yeah,
KJ's he's my frenemy. He's my nemesis. So we give each other crap, but that guy is salt of the earth too, and we just kind of hung out. But he came down
yeah,
and he said, "Hey, man, I got something to show you."
yeah,
And I was like, "I don't want to see anything, man," because I knew as soon as you showed me, I was gonna be
yeah.
like, "Oh God, where do I get this? How much is it?" I mean, it was I think it was God, what was it? It wasn't Mezco, it was something else. But I was looking at it and they had got it from Target early. And
Okay.
so I was like, wow, look at that. And he's like, yeah. And so he's very good at he has a very unique set of skills.
Skills, yeah, absolutely, yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. So got two more topics. I don't want to try to keep you on too long because we're going a
Yeah,
little bit of a
yeah.
marathon, but this has been great, bro. But so I know we went through while we're talking. Go ahead and I'm gonna try to get this back, but I know we talked about this earlier on, but I still
Yeah.
want to highlight it again. But your latest and greatest. Now that can go to two things. Latest and greatest could be your latest shot or project that you're working on that
Oh
you
god.
are most proud of.
Yeah.
And greatest would be your, I guess, I don't want to say most prized possession, but the thing that you're most proud of that you've done,
That I've
if that
done.
makes sense. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
The
No.
latest thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh
so the
man.
latest thing that you're working on. What do you, if you can share it?
Hmm.
I know how some people they possibly don't want to
Oh no. Oh
share certain things because they might be working on it or fine
no.
tuning it.
No. No. God, it's been on my Instagram for the longest time, and that's why because it's just been collecting dust because we've been moving around and stuff like that, right? But there's that this massive building dio I have. It's with that picture with the sentinel in the middle.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's just remember like when you build something that big, it just takes a lot of time, and I'm really proud of it, right? But it's just once again, it's going to take a lot of time, right, for me to set up here. And then once I get the setup going with the basement and stuff, I'll be able to finish that off. And I think that would be pretty big because that's my goal for that is to actually build, um, kind of build like a city. High School Creations guys, he's another really sick dio maker.
Hmm.
Um, and he kind of built like this whole city scape kind of thing, like a downtown city or New York style city.
I
That's the kind
saw
of
that.
and like that's
huge.
it's perfect, man. That's what exactly what I want to do, and it's gonna take some time. So I kind of wanted to make like um, that building there and like a bunch of Joes and Cobra and like I don't know, just an all out war with a bunch of X-Men. I don't know, something like that. And it
Hmm.
was going to occupy like a bunch of tables here in the basement. So high school creations, man. Like if you guys just check this out, this guy is intense.
This is
And
him right here, right?
yep, that's it. Yeah, and I think he posted a video recently of his
Oh,
cityscape.
I
There it
mean, this
is.
is it.
Yep, that's exactly it. And I'm sure everyone here, from for the most part, I know follow him and stuff like that. But just got to give this gentleman a spotlight, right? Because this is incredible.
Look at that.
Like McDonald's is nuts, dude.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, look at that. And this isn't like it's not something he looked like he just put together. You can tell there's time and effort put
Oh
into this,
yeah.
but there's you can look at it and you can see texture and
Yeah.
depth and dimension. And, like, look at that
Every little
crowd.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, air conditioning, windows. That's just
Yeah.
not.
He
And
does
then it's
like 3D
modular. It looks like
printing.
it's small.
Yeah. 3D printing. I think he does like CNC stuff. Like, it's like next level stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of want to build something like this, similar so it's never gonna stop, right? But I
No.
also want to I also want to kind of build something for the Mythic Legions back here, like kind of like maybe like an open field or kind of like a hill or a castle or something like that, right? So
Right.
things like that, man. But look at that, isn't that beautiful, guys?
It is, man. Looks really good.
What's up, Carl?
But we are talking about you, sir.
We're
We're
talking
talking
about
about
no,
you. Yeah,
but
we're talking about you. I
these
mean, it's
guys.
good that you're. Yeah, it's good that you're
I
getting.
got to spotlight my people that inspire me, right? And you'll see, it's not about copying or anything. It's about kind of being inspired and like I see something like I think Noah was talking about like with that how do I say this that the tavern that I had, it inspired him to build his tavern, and his tavern is insane, right? So and then I'm looking at his stuff and I'm like I want to incorporate that, so it kind of like we work off each other until
Mhm.
like our skills are kind of like here's another building that I have, yeah, just a bunch of buildings, man. um, Kind of
Never
build
can
that
go
city.
wrong with buildings.
Yep, build away, right? So um, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. The greatest thing that I built, though, or the most I'm proud of, um,
Yeah, whether it be a build
or a
or
photo.
let's do two. Let's do two. Well, okay. Now that you said that, let's do three. So
Three.
yeah, that'd be good. So
Oh gosh.
the greatest build. Well, because this comes full circle because
Yeah.
when I introduced you, you said
Yeah.
you're a diorama
Yeah.
content creator, photographer. So
Yeah.
go with your greatest build that you did, and I
The
think you said
greatest
that
build.
was
I
your
mean, it's
tavern, right? Was
the
it the tavern?
that was kind of like the most like difficult because of the speed build. But there's that one there. That one's like not so bad. It's kind of like a warehouse dio that I kind of did. I like that picture too. You kind of showcase the Joes and Action Force together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really like that shot.
Let's go.
Yeah, I really like this shot, man. I don't know, like these guys are.
I do too.
I love the hoods and just the car and stuff like that, right? But I don't know, man. I don't know. I to be honest, like I don't think I'm at the level of like once again like even Mr. Page over here
No.
or like all these other places, right? So I don't know, man. They're all fun. I hope you guys all like them and stuff like that, right? But what's to come? Yeah, it's I got plans. Big dios. I really like big dios, like scale dios, stuff like that. Yeah, that's it was nice enough of Hasbro to send that the
That's
PulseCon.
cool, man.
Yeah, it was some cool stuff, and if they do that again, I'll be forever grateful. But if not, then it was a really cool thing. So
That is cool. 7K
yeah.
giveaway. Damn, dude.
Oh
You got 7K?
no, it's yeah. I'm just a nice little humble page there. But yeah,
This is cool, man. So how long have you been building or connecting? Like if you scrolled all the way back, when did you start?
Thi- Honestly, not that long ago. Not that, I would probably say like Dio wise. So that's the net. If you guys,
Dude,
that's the
sir,
net.
this is sacrilegious right here. This would never happen.
um, but yeah, that's the net. It actually does come with mesh. I for
Yeah.
some weird reason I can't find the mesh on that, but it's like the scale of it and the way that it looks. It's really good. But um, yeah, I don't know. Man, those Mayflex figures are good. So yeah,
I'm just joking with you, man.
it's all
Who's this
love.
guy?
Oh, brother
Who's
Jay,
this
yeah.
guy?
That was a really cool interview. He's just super humble and super talented as well, man.
He
And he's
is,
super
man.
busy, man. That guy's he's got a lot of things going on.
Yeah,
So
he's a very good guy. Very
yeah.
good guy.
How did
There's
you guys meet up?
you know how we met was I saw. Make sure this isn't LeBron. Okay, we're good. I just kind of like you did. Like you just sent a
Yeah,
message, and I was I was looking at one of his photos, and I was trying to figure out lighting,
yeah,
and I usually don't like doing it. Sorry, guys, I'm back. I usually don't like doing it because I don't know what kind of interactions you've had before, but I've had some where it's people, and I understand it a little bit better now, but people are busy and sometimes they don't have
yeah,
the time to talk to you. And so
yeah,
I was very hesitant, and I just messaged him. I said, "Hey, I really like this photo."
yeah,
And he said, "Yeah, that's cool." And I like how you did this. And when you have time, would you be able to explain it to me?
yeah.
And he's like, "I got time right now." And he just went on. And
Wow.
then from then on, we just kept carrying on
Yeah,
conversations, and it moved from chatting to offline talking on the phone and
yeah,
stuff like that. But even though he's busy, he still will take out time
yeah.
and explain stuff. So that's how I met him. Good guy, man.
Oh
Really good
man,
guy.
one of the best. Yeah, for sure. I was reading the comment there. Am I going to Legion's Con? We've been trying to plan, the boys and I up here in the north, but we all got kids, man, and they're all like about like we all have babies, right? So we'd
Mm.
have to kind of plan it to kind of bring everybody down with their kids and go down there one of these days. But yeah, that's a dream, man. That's a dream. Legion's Con for sure. NBA
So
Jam, yes.
so for me, I'm a casual Mythic Legions collector.
Yeah,
So Legions Con is obviously like the big, like RumbleCon or MezcoCon or
correct. Yeah.
Hasbro Sun, and that's because I've seen it a couple of times where guys will say, "Yeah, I'm going to Jersey and I'm going to
Yeah.
this." Do they hold it once a year? Is it
Uh,
twice or
That's no,
once?
that's the one. Yeah, that's the one that I believe Jeremy Gerard. He's one of the. He works for them now, but he's like a big Mythic Customs is his YouTube.
Right.
Shout out to Mythic Customs, and they started that, and it's grown to this huge, huge thing. It's kind of like they do a lot of cons. They're still like Four Horsemen. Believe it or not, like they're like out and about. Like these people actually like built the company, and you can meet them if you go to like a small show in somewhere in the States and stuff like that. Right, really approachable people. I haven't
I've
met them
seen that.
personally, but you know what I mean. Like they're still there. They're still like they got like boxes and products, and they're like handing them to you as you pay your money. Like it's still like
Oh, so it's not like just flow at the cash register selling it. It's them
no
actually
man.
have.
They're like
It's
they're
more of a
there.
personal experience.
Absolutely, it's crazy, right? But
Yeah.
like they're selling like these things all over the world. But it's kind of cool that they do that, and like it's kind of neat. Maybe like that's how they can kind of keep the prices down and all that stuff because they are working like every other weekend, right? Which is kind of madness. But I don't
But
know,
it
man.
also builds a personal connection too, because you
Oh
have
yeah,
to get.
the cabal, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
hear D
I
talking about it all the time.
know. Yeah, yeah, man. He'll tell me sometimes too. He's like, "Don't do it, don't do it. You'll fall down the rabbit hole." But I know one guy. I don't know him personally, but I've talked to him a couple times. Is Eric K is Corn Boy.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Yeah, so I know him. Like, well, I think he did some work on Doctor Doom for Mezco, and
Did he?
uh,
I didn't know that.
yeah, it was a.
I know he's a fan. I know he's a fan. But yeah, Cornboy's obviously one of the. I don't know if you guys know, but he's actually one of the owners or he
Mm-hmm.
started. Yes, Trev, how you doing, brother? Oh, here's another
Hey,
guy.
what's up,
Here's
Steve?
another guy. My gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Trevor's
Cabal
good, man.
above all. But yeah, Yeah, super super cool. Actually, we were supposed to do an interview one time, and then he's like, "Oh man, there's this one thing that I think his like daughter like went into, uh, there's like an emergency or something like that." And I'm like, "Oh rats!" But I almost had him. That was still
Yeah,
a dream. I'm gonna message him maybe after Legion's Con and stuff like that. Maybe just kind of talk to him. But yeah,
yeah, definitely. There's so many good. There's so many good, like I said, content creators and artists out there. It's amazing. It's a
yeah,
good time not only for collectors, but it's also a good time for like companies too, because they can
hmm
utilize these skill sets that some of these guys have. Like guys, I'll watch a lot of stuff. I've seen Trevor. I like he does the shooting reviews. I've seen him do that.
man, madness. Yeah,
It's good. It's great content.
yeah.
But there's times when you're just looking at stuff and I'm like, is this a painting? Like, holy shit.
And
Goodness
that's it.
gracious, bro. So yeah,
Exactly. And
yeah,
and it's so funny because he'll do the like like you said, the review and the how to and the behind the scenes, and I'm like, okay, I want to do that, and my photo looks like absolute like horseshit compared to his, and I'm just like, all
yeah,
right, whatever, I'll just enjoy his, right? But it's nice of him
yeah,
to do that, man. Like you don't have to do that stuff, like to spill the secrets and all that stuff. But that's this community is kind of crazy like that, man. It's like, here you go. Let's see what you can do with it. Maybe I can learn something from you afterwards, right?
yeah.
And
The
that's
good ones,
dope.
the good ones share, but they know that it doesn't. I wouldn't say it doesn't matter, but
Mm,
they know that even though that they give you these tips or tricks or trade secrets or stuff like that, you're still
yeah,
gonna have to apply it. And so I knew
absolutely.
a guy who did that. He was like, he told me once, he's like, I'll tell you everything you need to know. He goes, it doesn't mean that you're gonna get to where I'm at because
That's crazy.
he
Yeah,
it doesn't account for the amount of time that he had to put into it.
yeah.
He's like, so I'll tell you exactly what to do. He said, but
Wow.
the rest is, yeah, he wasn't scared of anything. He was like,
Yeah,
he was like, yeah, I hope you do get better. He said, but this had nothing to do with collecting.
yeah,
This was something else. He goes, I'll tell you everything you need to know. He goes, but you're still gonna have to put the time
yeah.
and dedicate. And he goes, and it's gonna be different. It's not gonna be me. I'm not gonna do what I can do. He goes,
Right.
you're gonna have your own personal touch to it, and that's what's gonna
Perfect.
make
Yeah.
it unique. But yeah, he had a mentor personality that was amazing. So last call. Last call is pretty much your time, sir. I sit back and shut up because I probably
What?
talked
Oh
enough.
no.
But yeah, this is all your time. You can plug whatever you want to plug. You can
Yeah.
talk about whatever you want to talk about. I sit here, I drink my tea, and you just roll.
Oh man. No, honestly, this is thank you, Mr. Page, for having me, man. This is like kind of like meeting one of your I don't know, people that you watch all the time and kind of look up to, kind of like not only because of the content, right, but it's just exactly of the message what we're trying to get, right. It just kind of keep the collecting, make it happy, watch for the beef, all that garbage. We don't need all that good stuff, man.
Beef.
The beef is, yeah, it is what it is, right? We're all humans, but yeah, man, it's at the end of the day we're just dealing with toys, and that's something that even not even collecting, just in life in general, at work and all that good stuff. That's what people are, right? And
Exactly.
yeah, man, you got to stay ahead of that stuff, right? And not don't let that blind you. But yeah, for us, like we said, if Saturdays, we're gonna try to get back into it. Saturday nights live on our YouTube. I
Okay.
want to start doing more of lives and stuff. Just gotta do a little bit more of a setup, and just kind of Figgy Smalls there on Instagram, Vero, all this other stuff, right? I'm gonna start making more dios. There you go, Nights in the North, and once again, just thank you to E Collectibles. Just a really good guy. He still has a lot of stuff like Mythic Legions, Marvel Legends, anything like Star Wars Black Series, right? And then just geeky jerseys, guys. If you guys really like this stuff, and hopefully it's not sold out, because I know there's like 2 or 3 friends that already asked about it, and the guy didn't message me back, but they have tons
Oops.
and tons of they have tons and tons of other products and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to just building stuff, man, and kind of getting back into it. You kind of hunkered down in this house now, so hopefully I can get back and
Right.
do some stuff, man. You know.
Wow.
Oh
It's really good
gosh.
work, man. It's really good work,
Oh,
man.
thanks. It's oh my gosh,
All right, look at that.
turning red over here.
Is this printed or is it
No,
stenciled
guys,
or
let me. This is what did I do there?
I
Honestly,
wish I
that
could zoom
was
in.
yeah. You know what I did? I literally with my crappy little printer for like my whatever, just run of the mill printer,
Yeah, it
right?
won't let me do it. Yeah.
Printed that. I looked at like Windows or something like that online, and then I printed it. I kind of scaled it properly, and then I just started cutting away on like a dollar store like foam board,
Hmm.
and you know you have to have a nice sharp knife because as you can see it kind of gets intricate. But
Always.
if you gonna if you go right into it, it's a little bit messier than usual, but. I actually just got a 3D printer for this reason because there's some things that you can do or you can't
Hmm.
do with foam anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, those windows, it's all foam board and just something that you print. I actually have the labels like the big printing labels or
Hmm.
shipping labels, right?
Yeah.
There's ones that are sized like letter size. You put that
Hmm.
on, and you can print from that, and you just print that, and then stencil away. It's super cheap. It's super fast. You don't need to buy any expensive stuff, and it looks exactly the same, right? So
Get that click. Let's
yeah,
just bombard these with likes because they don't cost anything. Look at this.
I
Look at how much
appreciate
I'm
that.
look how I'm spending all my likes right now.
But yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
Well, bro, I appreciate you being on. Let me get out of this because I don't want it to seem like I'm not looking
Yeah.
at you.
But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in here and just hanging out with us. This is nice, man. This is really cool. Like hanging out with your this person that you watch all the time. It's kind of weird, but yeah,
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the
fangirling.
support. Yeah. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate you being on, man. And like I said in the beginning, and it just solidified it at the end. It's nice to talk to people that are passionate about what they do, that are expanding their creativity and then trying to share that with the community, if it makes sense. You know what I mean?
one Hundred
Because,
percent.
like I said, there's a lot of negativity, but I think that just like anything, like we talked about this whole show, is it's balance, and sometimes
Yeah,
pendulums either swing, and then maybe if you have more conversations and more things like this, it'll just kind of spread.
absolutely, man.
Just
Absolutely.
spread like herpes. Just kidding. Not like herpes, just good positive. I will make sure that I put all of your information, Figgy, in there because remember,
Thank you, sir.
Figgy, you are the illest. So I'll make sure that I put all your stuff in there. When we get off, make sure you send me the extra links so I can put those in there too as well on Instagram, your YouTube, and stuff like that. I'll update all of that. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. And if you're in here right now, please make sure you go to his Instagram, find the stuff that you like that stuff, and then like 10 other things that he did. But got it,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Again,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much, man. I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
being on there. All right,
It's an honor.
everybody, thank you. Oh
Thanks,
no,
everyone.
yeah, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it again. Remember, just to kind of wrap things up, Batman charged October is going to be charged October 3rd. If you did 5 points, which probably most people haven't, but 5 points, that's going to be charged October 3rd. RumbleCon starts tomorrow. That's first day. Itinerary will be out on their website. And I'm trying to think. Oh, Hasbro. I don't want people to think I'm being biased. Yeah, Hasbro post on that stuff starts this weekend too. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Stay safe. Be good. Be positive. Remember, they're just toys. So have fun. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.